when Tamir and I were kids.
Hi, Bishal.
Hi.
So I'm Manasvi, and thank you for speaking with Kalakars. So I watched your film, It Lives Inside, and I was completely blown away by the visuals and the storyline. So
Amazing. Thank you so much.
getting right into it, can you please tell us about your writing process? And did you have a clear vision over it, or did it evolve with time?
Well, certainly I think a film evolves always, every time, if it's going to be better than what it started out as. But in this case, I think I had a sense of what I wanted to accomplish, which was a film about a specific conflict that I felt growing up, this kind of I felt kind of caught between two worlds, one as an Indian person, one as an American, and I felt like it was only in kind of synthesizing an identity based on both that I could really feel at home within myself. And I felt like that was a great conflict for a horror film and something I hadn't seen sort of explored yet. So I thought that was a great foundation. And I remembered so many of the kind of ghost stories that I heard growing up that were passed down through generations, that came from my grandfather, for example. He supposedly had a run-in with something inside of a mason jar. And so it was really those two kind of impulses coming together. I felt like I could make a very scary and entertaining film that would also tackle some of these very important, identity related issues that I think a lot of people are feeling.
Did you aim to convey a message or a theme with your films, which goes beyond what audience sees on the screen?
Yes, I mean, I think that a film that's really speaking to an audience and giving them something to leave the theater with, I think is always going to resonate more and it's going to linger in the audience's mind. This particular film, I hope encourages people to find a sort of harmony in all their various identities. I think in the world today, this isn't just a movie about being Indian American. We really tried to make sure that what the characters are going through in this film is going to resonate for everybody. And it was just this hope that people can be multiple things and sort of find a balance between those two is very much, I think, what the film is about. And if the audience can take that away, I can be very happy as a filmmaker.
How's your directing process like? Would like to know about directing style.
Certainly, I had an incredible time with the cast and crew on this film. In terms of crew, I got to work with some people that I've worked with for a very long time and build that relationship. Matt Lynn, my DP, Wes Hughes, the composer, those were, we just continued to build on what we'd done before, continued to explore artistically. I worked with a lot of new people. The producers at QC were just amazing partners. And, with the cast themselves, Megan Suri, I think, is a superstar. And I think it was so important to me to cast that role correctly because the entire film is based around her. And Megan is someone who really inhabits the role in such a significant way that I felt like I could do that. And then the supporting actors from Neeru Bajwa to Betty Gabriel, Vic Sahay, Gage, Marsh, Mohana, Krishnan, I was so incredibly impressed by them. And it's the dream of a filmmaker that actors take the words on the page and bring them to life. And now I don't see my characters on the screen. I see what feels like real people. So I'm incredibly excited about the performances in the film. And as far as directing style goes, I think I try to balance a good, healthy sort of amount of planning and prep. Certainly, I never want to go into a day of production not knowing what I want or what I'm planning to shoot, but at the same time trying to embrace as many accidents and as many serendipitous incidents as humanly possible, because a film is never completely in a vacuum. You always get these incredible sort of challenges and obstacles, but then also these happy accidents that come through. And I try to roll with the punches with the plan as much as possible.
And I want to know when and how did you partner with QC Entertainment and Neon?
The conversation with QC actually started very early. They were one of the first people that I met as I was doing the kind of water cooler tour, and we immediately had this kind of creative connection. And I had just told them this very, very basic idea, which was it was kind of a Indian American teenager having a friend break up, and it unleashes a demon. Essentially, it's very, very simple. And they reached out a couple months later, just as I had finished a first draft, a good first draft, and it was an immediate kind of um, the formation of that partnership was so crucial to this movie getting made, because those two producers, I mean, they've done Get Out, Black Klansman, and Us. They've been really at the forefront of that social horror kind of thing in the last couple of years. So in one sense, they were a guiding hand, and in the other, they were also saying, like, let's do something new with this, which is exactly what you want in producers. And then when Neon came on board, we just had so much more confidence that the film would find an audience, because Neon's brand is so strong and people believe in Neon so much. And so when I had those partners together, that was the point where it was like, okay, it really feels like there's an opportunity to do a very special kind of film here.
And for all the emerging kalakars that are watching us, we'd love to know, how was your journey in the industry? I mean, from the film festivals to a big theater screening.
I mean, I'll say that I started off really making short films. I started in high school and all the way through college, and it was a very sort of independent, hands on the ground kind of filmmaking, put things in front of a camera, move people around. And I love that kind of filmmaking. And I feel very lucky that I got to do that kind of filmmaking on this movie. And I think that for me, the journey has been very much about understanding collaboration, understanding, creative collaboration in a way that I feel like I need to have a strong vision, but then also create room for other people to come in and bring their brilliance to the table. So a lot of it has been, I feel very lucky to have had the journey that I've had. But I also think that there is a certain sense of like, the luckiest thing that I get to do is tell a story that means something to me. And I encourage everyone listening, if you're a filmmaker, tell stories that mean something to you, because that passion that comes from that kind of obsession that comes with that, that's really going to resonate, not just with the people who are making the movies, but ultimately with an audience that's going to watch the movie.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much, Manasvi. This was such a lovely conversation.
Same here.
When Tamir and I were kids, my mom used to tell us stories.
The ayah said never to sleep with a bad feeling in our hearts, because there's a dark thing that feeds on those feelings.
What is the deal with Tamara? Is she doing all right?
My stomach drops every time she appears out of thin air like that. There's something in here. You can't see it. But it lives inside. Don't you hear it?
It needs to tenderize the soul by attacking your sanity, isolating you from those who love you. And if anyone tries to help you, it will hurt them. It's called the Pishash. It doesn't kill you right away. It eats you slowly. When it's ready, it eats your soul.